India Charts publishes Nifty daily video updates, the weekly Elliott Wave outlook, and the long shot report covering all asset classes.
So the Nifty is, pulling back once more. So what are my thoughts on what is going on? These are my immediate thoughts. When I look at the monthly chart, given the sell-off, we have 3 days left, today, tomorrow, day after for the month end. And last month's closing was 15,721. So if we don't recover and go above that, then probably we get a lower closing, which would further affirm my immediate view that we are in a fourth wave of the entire structure. That was my debate for a while. That will further affirm that, given the time that it is taking. The real question is how much downside is there, and most of the panic, if I see, is mostly coming from parts of Asia, because when we look at US indices overnight, the US bank index has not really crashed. It in fact closed positive marginally and has held the fourth wave low that we wrote about last week. The metals and mining index marginally down, but you see a long lower shadow. This is typically not a very bearish candle as of now. You do see some of the indices like the Russell 2000 here doing some kind of ABC pullback. Again, it had bottom near the previous swing. Okay, the Nasdaq recovered intraday. So you have a lot of reasons to believe that this was not something significant. The utilities actually broke out of this falling channel on the upside. Okay, so it actually went up when everything else was looking like going down. So some rotation again happening there. If I simply look at the main index, the DJI, that also did that, and the dollar index actually broke this wedge finally. So if the DXY is breaking, then why everything else is not moving higher? So it has actually, everything else moved higher in advance. This is what I said in the podcast yesterday. And now this is falling, and now this looks like being down for a day, and so it looks very bad, and so there's all that confusion. But usually there's the news flow. And the news flow is mostly around Asia. So even if I look at US futures here on the top, you said this, and you see the DAX futures not down a lot. The main panic is Asia. So when we go to Asia, the main market which is in trouble is probably China. Now today's candle in China is not looking very bearish, but I've drawn a downward channel just in case it has to dip till 3200, then it still has some way left. Okay, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes markets, bottom earlier than expected, or near this previous swing low, fourth wave of the previous rally. Okay, but this is not the fourth wave, this is the previous low itself. So unless this is a different pattern, some triangle or something, it would probably fall a little lower and then complete at the lower channel line. Okay, but I did a lower channel thing here also. It didn't reach the lower channel. It stops, comes close and then stops somewhere before. So we'll see how this happens, but it is definitely a larger ABC, and then you start a rally on the way up. I don't think this is a larger ABC and down and into a bear market, and the reason to not think that is simply at history. We've already had a long bear market in China, from this peak in 2000 and which year was it? So 16, I think, yeah, 2015, and of course 2008 was much earlier. So that was one peak, then it consolidated for a long time, and so this was one peak. Long consolidation, another peak, another long consolidation going on, multiple attempts to rally. But since you've already been down so much, you can't really call for, a major sell-off. You can call for underperformance. And then that's affecting markets like Taiwan, which are tech related, and some of the others. But Jakarta, sort of recovering from its previous lows, is simply going sideways. Japan is retesting this low. This previous low again, every rallies, then again something comes in, it fell, again it rallied, again it fell, retesting these lows again and again and again. So it's not yet a breakdown, it's just like maybe making multiple bottoms at that range. So in general, looking at all of this, even though there's a sense of fear and panic, I feel there's room for us to stand back and think for a while in terms of what is really going on. And like I said, on the monthly chart, I would still want to think of this being another 3 and 4. So if I just go to now the daily chart here on investing, where I'm marking this, I would like to stick to what I said earlier, is maybe you're completing wave 3 and wave 4. This is the better case. The more time it takes, I prefer to think this because of the time taken. compared to each of these, and also because it's either a triangle or a complex pattern, which is usually a fourth wave. This is a clear triangle. This is not converted to a triangle yet. I thought it would if it hadn't broken the low that it made on the 20th of July, but it has. And so what I end up doing here is, on the hourly chart, I'm actually drawing a downward channel for ABC for this correction, and touch the bottom end of this channel today. Okay, so I thought maybe if this holds, I would have marked it as a triangle, and by the time I got down to doing this video, it broke that low, and now we're at the channel low. So now it remains a complex pattern where I've marked this as W, X, Y, X. The only difference is we had marked Z over here. Now this is A, B and C, and Z is coming here. That's the only difference from my previous marking, and that you've had to deal with this further decline in Nifty. The Nifty has been the pain point. See, right now, whenever I look back, sectors are doing well. Even yesterday, you had all the commodity related sectors take off, from coffee to even tea, and the materials and mining indices also go up, and they've held in the US as well. So and the dollar is falling. So all those external factors are all in place for a rally. Problem is with Nifty, mostly because it's being affected by results in the large cap and now by Asia related news, and so mostly external factors. And as and when that cools off and stabilizes, it should join the US in the stronger trend higher, is what I think. But yes, you do need some domestic triggers, and that might only come after the result season, where the worst gets discounted. So that still gives you another week or so, where most results would have been announced by the first week of August, I think. So that's the time. But in terms of structure, for the nth time, I think this is a bottom. People will say, yeah, you said that here, you said that here. Every time I say it, it has rallied. The only thing is the rally is not sustained into the start of the fifth wave. Okay, and so it fails and gives up again and again. But the view that we are going to get a fifth wave doesn't change. So I have not been spending time trying to catch each of these up and down moves, because I'm more focused on capturing that fifth wave or finding stocks that will perform or outperform in the market right now. And if I was not doing that, I would have probably missed the move in the metals and the tea and coffee related moves. So I think that's been the better strategy. The allocation to Nifty in April also, I mentioned in the strategy note in the Weekend with India charts that I reduced it after April was bad for Nifty. The same I did after June when it turned bad. In July, slowly increased the allocation to non-index. But since I have some allocation, in May actually I had none, which was good. This time I do have. That part is hurting, but the rest of it is taking care of it. And unless this structure or pattern changes, okay, so I think I had made my reversal level at this low, or a key support at 15,578. Now see, even when we ask in the weekend, in the Monday episode, somebody asked me, what is this low breaks? I say, okay, fine, then it can go to the 20-week average. But sometimes we don't think about other alternates. We cannot till we see the structure. Now when I see the structure, I can think, can this be ABC? Can it really complete at this low? It doesn't have to go to 15,200, which is the 20-week average, or 250 or 235, whatever that number is. It can sometimes truncate at the channel, end at the channel, which is normal for a Z, ABC, Z complete. We saw that in Bitcoin as well. From there, it just flew away. So, which means that now I watch this channel level on a closing basis, hourly closing also you can say. Hopefully maybe 2 hours, if not 1 hour, because sometimes you get that falls through under kind of situation. But this is not that type of situation where you should get a throw under. So let's see the level. The level is 15,500. So at 15,500, we end up getting a case for ABC completing. If we hold 15,500, we should resume wave 5. Z should be complete, and wave 5 should start. And I would put an even higher probability now than I would before. So unlike most people who think, oh, now it's broken, it's over. The way I think, the longer it's taken, I'm moving to a fourth wave end situation. And if I was bullish at 15,005 at this point of A, I thought Z was done here, and I was bullish with whatever sense, then probably at the end of ABC, maybe till I get a positive hourly close or whatever, I would be even more bullish. So that's how I think. And if that level breaks, fine, I have to give up somewhere and manage risk till 15,200. But I would tend to think, and so you wait for it to confirm, which means close positive. Maybe you want to wait 3-4 bars after that, like here, close positive, and wait for the end of the day, or wait for one more day. You want to wait for a positive closing on the daily as well. You can do all of that. But once that is done, and say we close positive tomorrow, and we have not broken 15,500, okay, then tomorrow at the close, I would be more bullish than I was probably at the previous time I thought we would have started wave 5. That's how I think, rather than getting less optimistic, more, and simply because if the move is right, if the setup is right, and the odds are increasing that the next move will start because time is gone, then more than ever you want to capture that move, because that's how you will recover what you lost in this trading range. Because trading range is always cost you, in terms of bad trades, because some of them go wrong. In a trending market, you'll be right 80% of the time or 90% of the time, and appear like you're always right. In an up-down market, you will tend to go wrong, especially on indices and large caps, and therefore you have to then have a sector focus or a mid-cap focus to actually make it up, which is what has worked in this time. But the index loss can only be made up by when it actually plays out, and so that focus should not be lost in the process.